Already a like. What? Already a like. What's going on? Good morning, Bill! Good morning, Bill! Bing, bing, bong. Good morning, Herbie. Oh, boy. There's the beat. There's the finger banger. Oh, good morning. Good morning, guys. Oh, man. Good morning. Good Monday. Good morning, Shy. Good morning, friend. Good morning, Derek Anderson. Good morning, friends. 1 second. Let's do this. 1 second here. We're gonna run the gamut today. Good morning, Free. Good morning. We are gonna run the gamut today. Doing a lot today. If I disappoint you today, I'm doing enough. Right? Isn't it, Derek Anderson? Derek Anderson says, good morning, Free. Free. You're a loved person. Free. Did you know that? I knew that. We all knew that. Shy, you're loved. Derek Anderson, you're loved. Herbie, you're loved. Good morning, everybody. We're all about love today. Speaking of love, I've kind of practiced a little bit today. I practiced this just a touch. This is for I wanna let everybody know that, like, Derek Anderson and I, we're not related. That's not my bro. We're not brothers. All right. He's probably a little bit better looking than I am, and so I kind of resent him for that. But he's a good guy, and so I'm glad to have him on my team. I'm just letting you guys know that, like, I don't always talk about Derek Anderson. Just, like, he's more like, he's like Andy the Conan, but I don't mean it to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you almost respect Andy a little bit more than Conan, and I don't want that. Okay, all right, Derek Anderson. I don't need you rizzing off my riz. Okay, pal? All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Good morning, good morning. But he's got some good ideas. Good morning, nerd. Good morning, Mark Zamaron. Good morning. So I practiced this. This is because of, and maybe for, I don't know, Derek Anderson, our moderator extraordinaire. Good morning, Clean Girl. God morning to you as well. The Waz. Good morning to the Waz. Good morning, Catzilla. Okay, everybody. Okay. I've been alone with you inside my mind, and in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. And I sometimes see you pass outside my door. Hello? Is it? There's a handle on the damn cup. Just use the handle, Brock. Hold on. Let's start this over again. Let's start this over again. I've been alone with you inside my mind, and in my dreams I've kissed your lips 1,000 times. I sometimes see you pass outside my door. Hello? Is it tea you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted, and my arms are open wide, 'cause you know just what to say, and you know just what to do. And all I want to do is tell you I love you. I messed that up a little bit. It's actually, and I want to tell you so much. I love you. I long to see the sunlight in your hair. It's cold as balls. If you're outside in the sun, you're a statue. And tell you time and time again how much I care. Sometimes I feel my heart will overflow. Hello, I just got to let you know, 'cause I wonder where you are, and I wonder what you do. Are you somewhere feeling lonely, or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart, for I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you. Hello, is it me you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile, and I wonder what you do. Oh, right? There's more. When all I ever want to do is tell you I love you. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Sue. Good morning, friends. I got a teacup. Hello? Is it tea you're looking for? Thank you, Derek Anderson. Thank you, Derek Anderson, very much. So I've got the teacup. It's nice. Hello? Is it tea you're looking for? I can see it in your eyes, I can see it in your smile. You're all I've ever wanted, and my arms are open wide. And so, that's gonna be running through my head all day, Derek. So that's not my fault. That's your fault, okay? Derek Anderson's fault. Nice job, Derek Anderson. Thank you for that. I don't know if it shows that I rehearsed that or not. So I kind of did that. Good morning, friends. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? Trippin says, good job. No, it's a little bit, okay. Someone says they're from Brazil. Good morning from Brazil. What are you at, like, it's 9 here. What are you, 11? 12? Good morning. Good morning to you. How far ahead of you are you? How far ahead are you? 2 hours, 3 hours ahead? I know you're in the afternoon, probably. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today's a Monday. It's a Monday. It's a big day. So, happy... Good morning, Lord of Vine, by the way. Good morning, Lord of Vine. It's hard to say, like, Happy Martin Luther King Day. Isn't it? Isn't it just a little awkward to be like, Happy Martin Luther... Only because, like, can you wish anybody a happy MLK Day? Or happy President? Like, do you wish anybody happy President's Day? Like, you know, you're walking out of a 7-Eleven, you're like, oh, alright, instead of like, you know, have a great day, yeah, alright, happy MLK Day. Like, do you say that? What do you... I don't know. But today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and so for that, we are going to get into... I know, right? We're going to run the gamut today. We're going to get into the politics book, okay? The reason why we're getting into the politics book... Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Niffer, by the way. Good morning. The reason why we're getting into this is because I'm lazy and I haven't gotten any other books yet. That's all. Also, there's 2 parts to this in this book that I think we can read without having any problems. And I'm going to read them. I'm going to read the MLK part, which is... we'll get to it, and then we'll read about probably my favorite aspect of government, which is utilitarianism. So we'll get into that. That's part of it, all right? We're not doing like left and right or whatnot. We're just learning about the basics. I think we're adult enough to learn about basics. I think. I read ahead a little bit, and I think we're adult enough to learn about basics. So we'll learn about that, okay? We'll get some basics down, and we'll figure out, like, how things work. But before then, let's just have a little fun, yeah? Let's just have a little fun. Let's, you know what I haven't read? I haven't done someone's, like, 3-card reading yet. And I kind of want to do a 3-card reading. So let's do that. Let's do a 3-card reading. Then we'll get into the book. For those of you that are like, why are you drinking out of a bottle when you got a perfectly nice teacup? From Derek Anderson. And I'm telling you, you don't want to put Mountain Dew in a teacup. Okay, that's why they make plastic bottles. Okay, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Oh, also, I got a bottle opener. From Derek Anderson. And one of these little guys. Apparently he wants me to stay out in the garage. That's all that is. That's just a guarantee that I'll stay out in the garage. I feel like my dad got that for me and like used it, like gave it to me under the auspices. Auspices? Is that the word I want to use? Like I'm already working on another router though. No, I had the extender, Irby. Like that's why we're out here. I'm on our number 2 extendo, except it's not the greatest extendo. It's not a Netflix extendo or a Netgear. Netflix extendo is it can only anyhow. Blah blah blah. What's my condition? My condition is alive. That's my condition. Otherwise known, a bookshelf is another condition that I have. So it's my response to that should dictate why I'm not going to answer that. So not a big deal. So let's shuffle these just a touch. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. It's a happy Monday. I woke up today and it was 10 degrees outside. And then 2 hours later, it's 6 degrees outside. And there's sunlight. What a weird world. You know what I mean? Just a weird world. And I totally understand, like, why it gets colder, like, when the sun shows up, because that's actually, like the... So, the reason why it feels like why it probably does get a little bit colder is, it's like a thermal thing. Like, the sun is warming all the air back here. Like, if you're looking at the sun, you're actually looking at warm air headed your way, if you will. And so it's warming all the air back here, and it's pushing it forward to your section, right? And so as it's pushing, that means there's cold air in front of the warm air. And so the pushing is the wind. So now you're feeling all this cold air getting pushed past you by the warm air back here. Wind, colder. That's why. Couldn't see it in your eyes. Couldn't see it in your smile. Okay. Meteorology class is available for $13.99. We'll be doing a Patreon. You can join me on Patreon and we'll learn about meteorology. I'm also going to start a Patreon where we learn about tarot. So, I'm kidding. Wind chill -5. Knock that off. Nobody should have. One of my favorite memes is why do I live somewhere where the air hurts my face? I thought that was hilarious. Let's see. Classic says, man, I'm staying in bed right now. Well, that's good. Jesus Christ goes, is there a card up my sleeve? No, there's nothing up my sleeve. It's just hair. I'm really super hair. Oh my God, that's a lot of hair. Don't do that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right, everybody. Let's just do a reading. Let's just do a reading. Who should I do a reading for? Who should I do a reading for? Let's see. Let's see. Let me think of a way to figure out let me think. I'm trying to think of like a way to figure out how to pick who to read for, and I can't think of anything right now. Okay, first person to tell me. Oh my God, I can't think of anything. Like, you know how like your brain just goes like, yep, and that's exactly what's just happening like right now. I've taken like one, did I? Yeah, I've taken like one hit off the alternator like earlier today. I mean like earlier today, like enough to like maybe eat breakfast a little bit, and I can't think. Screw it, Free, I'm reading your cards. I'm reading Free's cards. I can't even think of it right now. I can't even think of it. I'm reading Free's card. Free, are you here? Good morning. Is Free even here? I know he's usually at work. He's usually at work. Free was here. Free was. Jesus Christ says, hit it again? You know what? Maybe I will, JC. Maybe I will. Goodness. Free was here. Free was here, Niffer. Boy, oh boy, what a Monday. Free was. I hope he's at work and I hope he's not paying attention. And he's like, aha. Okay, the Waz. Okay, the Waz. It's more like, yeah, it is. It's absolutely writer's block. So, good morning, Sue. Good morning, Shy. Good morning, Niffer. Like usually when I do like the mornings, that's when I can figure it all out. Good morning, Melody. Good morning, Melody. All right, let's just take a hit of this. Let's rip it, and then we'll go. Production has really started to sag a little bit for this show, hasn't it? Kidding, guys. I'm kidding. All right. Who are we doing instead? I gotta do a reading, and then we'll get to the book, and we'll get the hell out of here. Who am I doing instead? Niffer? Classic? How you doing? If anybody, I hope Classic's doing all right. You pick Niffer. I'm Scotty B. There's Sue is saying good morning to you. Classic needs. All right, let's just do it, Niffer or Nerd. Nerd says Classic. Let's do it, Classic. I feel like you and I we need to sit down and talk about some cards here. So let's do it, Classic. You and me, friend. You and me. I'm gonna split this into 3, and we're gonna do a reading for Classic. I feel like we're gonna do a reading here. Classic, I need you to pick 1, 2, or 3, and then I'll give you my spiel, and then we'll do a reading, and then we'll move on to reading about Martin Luther King and also utilitarianism. Jeremy Bentham. So we've got 2. All right. Someone says, can I get a reading? You probably can. Next time. Next time. These are pot cards, by the way. I need everybody to understand that I don't take any of this seriously. I do, obviously, because that's why we're doing it. And I try and, like, I try not to lampoon too much. But, like, I am an idiot, so I gotta have fun. But tarot, it's more like, it lets you, it gives you a way to tell a story. There we go. It gives you a way to tell a story, and if you're good enough with other people as you're telling that story, and you watch them react to you telling that story, you can change the details as you're telling the story, you know? And you'll see. Classic, I do a 3-card reading. I do a then, now, and later reading, kind of like a where you been, where you at, and what are we going to do about it, kind of a thing. And so let's not make it any more difficult and any more complicated than that. Then, now, and later. Or where you been, where you at, and what are we going to do about it. So with pot cards, with the pot heart if it's upside down, we'll switch to the right side up, because you can't smoke out of an upside down bong. It's just upside down. And then it becomes like, it's like, what is an upside down bong? I don't know. But it's not it's not useful. So we'll switch to the right side up, and then it'll be useful. Okay? So, card number 1, again, none of this is real. Okay? Card number 1, 8 of pipes. Card number 1, 8 of pipes, classic. You're just chilling out. You're just hanging out. You're just like contentment everywhere. The preaching of the business of contentment is what that looks like. We're all together. Or you need more furniture. You look like you need a couple more chairs. Okay, it looks like maybe you're a little house poor, but at least you still got pipes and weed. You know, that's what it looks like for me. I've been there. Like you get into a new house. You're like, I don't have any much left. Much to do in the house, but you can still smoke weed. All right, so maybe it's all about priorities. Like, what are your priorities? Is it really is this a, check your priorities? I don't know. I have no idea what 8 of pipes is supposed to be. 8 of wands, I guess, might be the, I don't know, classic. You got 8 of pipes here, okay? It's your reading, okay? That's where you were. That's what's going on. That's what happened. Okay, now let's see what's going on. Let's see where you're at. God damn. Come on, classic. Come on, guys. We gotta pick this up. Classic. 5 of, I'm gonna say that, what the hell is that? 5 of what? 5, what is that? 5 of what? What is that? 5 of what? We got 5 of pipes. We got 5 of buds. We got 5 of, I don't want to go through the whole other, I don't want to go through the whole deck, because, like, 5 of plants, because then I'll have to, like, see what cards aren't there. But, desolation, classic. What's going on, friend? Where you at? You ain't gotta be there. It can get better. It has to get better. It's gotta get better. 5 of, just, I mean, they're still in the ground, at least, there's still, like, the ability to water them, I guess. I don't know, just, they haven't, like, fallen off yet, like, there's still a little bit there. You can kind of save that, just throw a little water down there. Storm clouds are on the horizon, but, hey, at least there's water coming your way, like, I don't know, man. Hold on, is what I'm saying. Goodness. It's gotta get better, right? It's gotta get better. Alright, so apparently you were sloughing off, jacking around, laying all over the place, And now we got desolation here. Isn't it always like that? Isn't it always like that? You know, you wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't have any more. Where's all my stuff? You know, like, oh, it's all gone. All right, well, goodness, Classic. Let's see what we're going to do about it now. All right, card number 3, we'll finish the reading. And this is why I don't give readings anymore, because I think I killed Shy. I think I gave Shy a reading one time, and I'm fairly certain Shy's dead. And we're just talking to his ghost. All right, so I'm sorry. So we got laziness, desolation, to Queen of Buds. Queen of Buds. Why can't we but friends? Why can't we but... You're not going to do it by yourself. Why can't we but... Obviously, you didn't do that by yourself. You know what I mean? You get plenty of help to do that. You get plenty of help. So you can still find help. You just gotta go find the help. And look at that. And it's gonna be like a help that you didn't think you were gonna find. It's gonna be someone else entirely. But you're gonna bud friends. Why can't we bud friends? Why can't we bud friends? You know what I mean? Why can't we bud friends? Alright. Rely on people is what I'm saying. Help is on the way. Help is available. Reach out. Reach out and touch bud. You know what I'm saying? So, Classic, I know you reach out every time you're here. And I'm glad that we're here for you, Classic. Thank you so, so much. Reach out and touch faith. Okay. That was fun. Thank you, Classic, for letting me read your cards there. And we'll get to the book here. We'll get to some learnings. Some edumacations. Before that, hold on. Let's see if we can actually get this stupid thing to work. Nope. Nope. Hold on. So I've taken to... I have a syringe without the needle, and I put it into the thing of the whatever cart, because it's plugged, and then I just pull up, right? And then that does the sucking for me, if you will. Hush up, Jesus Christ. You hush up. You be quiet, Jesus Christ. You know, making something else do the sucking for you. Knock it off. I don't need jokes like that, Jesus Christ. Okay? Especially when we're going to learn about politics. Okay. I apologize to no one. Monday, it's a different show. Thank you for being here. Welcome from Brazil. Welcome to anybody else that's been here. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And a lot of people are like not as entirely up to snuff about the reasoning behind the day. So I figure we could learn a little bit about Martin Luther King Jr. and what he stood for. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance. Martin Luther King. That's his phrase. That's a good phrase from him. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance. By the 1960s, the battle for civil rights in the United States was reaching its final stages. Since the Reconstruction, following the Civil War a century earlier, The southern states of the U.S. have been pursuing a policy of disenfranchisement and segregation of black Americans through overt legal means. This was codified in the so-called Jim Crow laws, a set of local and regional statutes that effectively stripped the black population of many basic rights. The struggle to win civil rights for black people has been ongoing since the end of the Civil War, but in the mid-1950s it had developed into a broad movement based on mass protest and civil disobedience. At the forefront of the movement was Dr. Martin Luther King, a civil rights activist who worked with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP. Inspired by the success of civil rights leaders elsewhere, and in particular by the non-violent protests against British rule in India led by Mahatma Gandhi, King became perhaps the most significant figure to emerge from the struggle. In 1957, with other religious leaders, King had established the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, SLCU, a coalition of black churches that broadened the reach of organizations involved in the movement. For the first time, this had generated movement on a national scale. Like many others in the civil rights movement, King characterized the struggle as one of enlightenment against ignorance. The long-standing beliefs of racial superiority and entitlement that dominated the government of the southern states of the U.S. had given rise to a political system that had excluded black people and many other minorities. King felt that this position was fervently believed in by those in power, and that this sincere ignorance was at the root of the problems of inequality. Therefore, any attempt to deal with the problem solely through political reason or means would be doomed to failure. Direct action would be needed to reform politics and win equality of participation and access in democratic life. At the same time, the movement for civil rights would also have to tackle the underlying attitudes of the majority toward minorities in order to achieve lasting change. In contrast to other leaders within the civil rights movement, such as Malcolm X and Stokely Carmichael, King was committed to nonviolence as one of the fundamental principles of the struggle for equality. The utmost moral strength was required to adhere to nonviolence in the face of extreme provocation, but Gandhi had shown what was possible. Gandhi believed that the moral principle or moral purpose of the protesters would be eroded and public sympathy lost if resistance turned violent. Boy, haven't we seen that? As a result, King took great pains to ensure that his involvement in the civil rights movement did not promote violence, going so far as to cancel speeches and protests when he felt that they might result in violent action on the part of the activists. At the same time, King pursued a fearless confrontation of intimidation and violence when it was visited on civil rights activists. He frequently led demonstrations from the front, was injured more than once, and was jailed on numerous occasions. Images of the brutality of the police toward civil rights activists became one of the most effective means of garnering nationwide support for the cause. King's adherence to nonviolence also inspired his opposition to the Vietnam War. I spent a couple months reading about the Vietnam War, and holy Christ, wow. We should oppose the Vietnam War. Okay. In 1967, he delivered his celebrated Beyond Vietnam speech, which spoke out against the ethics of conflict in Vietnam, branding it as American adventurism and taking issue with the resources lavished upon the military. In part, King felt that the war was morally corrupt since it consumed vast amounts of the federal budget, which could otherwise be spent on relieving the problems of poverty. Instead, as he saw it, the war was in fact compounding the suffering of poor people in Vietnam. The difference of opinion between those advocating nonviolence and those prepared to use violence in the struggle for civil rights is a major area of debate in the discussion of civil disobedience even today. In his letter from Birmingham jail, King articulated his strategy for confronting the ignorance of racism in the U.S., stating that nonviolent direct action seeks to create such a crisis and foster such a tension that a community which has constantly refused to negotiate is forced to confront the issue. However, critics within the movement felt that the pace of change was too slow, and that there was a moral imperative to respond to violence and intimidation in kind. King's vision for the civil rights movement developed as the 1960s progressed, and he broadened his focus to include inequality more generally, proposing to tackle economic as well as racial injustice. In 1968, he began the Poor People's Campaign, focusing on income, housing, and poverty, and demanding that the federal government invest heavily in dealing with the problems of poverty. Specifically, the campaign promoted a minimum income guarantee, an expansion in social housing, and a commitment on the part of the state to full employment. Everyone can work. The campaign was intended from the outset to unite all racial groups, focusing on the common problems of poverty and hardship. However, King died before it began, and despite a widely publicized march and series of protests, the movement did not match the success of the campaigns for civil rights. The link between racism and poverty had long been a theme of the civil rights movement, and formed a part of much of the activism in which King was involved. The 1963 March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom had the fight against racism at its core, but also demanded the extension of economic rights. King's stand against the Vietnam War had explicitly criticized the U.S. involvement in the conflict as distracting attention and financial support from the battle against poverty. Beyond these specific campaigns, a commitment to an extension of social welfare was a consistent theme throughout much of the activism King had pursued with the SCLC. King believed that solving the problems of poverty meant tackling another facet of the ignorance he had identified in the fight for racial equality. In his final book, Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community, he argued for the need for change in attitudes toward poor people. Part of the problem of poverty, he felt, lay in stereotyping the poor as idle. He suggested that prevailing attitudes had meant that economic status was considered the measure of an individual's abilities and talents. Boy, haven't we felt that. and that the absence of worldly goods indicated a want of industrious habits and moral fiber. In order to tackle poverty, this underlying attitude needed to be changed. You got the haves and the have-nots. King remains one of the most influential civil rights leaders of the modern era. His oratory is timeless and has passed into the modern vernacular. I have a dream. And his work has inspired the activists who followed him in the US and worldwide. Perhaps the most concrete measure of his influence, however, is in the reform of civil rights that occurred as a result of the movement he helped to lead. The Voting Rights Act, introduced in 1965, and the Civil Rights Act of 1968 signaled the end of the Jim Crow laws and removed overt discrimination from the southern states. The last great injustice he tackled, however, the problem of poverty, remains unsolved. Martin Luther King Jr. The reason for the season, if you will. Now let's learn about utilitarianism. Government has but a choice of evils. Jeremy Bentham, 1748 to 1832. Welcome to the beginning of American morality. The idea that government has but a choice of evils runs right through the work of English philosopher Jeremy Bentham from as early as 1769, when he was a young trainee lawyer, to the end of his life 50 years later, when he had become a hugely influential figure in British and European political thought. The year 1769, Bentham wrote half a century later, was a most interesting year. At the time, he was reading the works of philosophers such as Montesquieu and Beccaria and Voltaire, all forward-thinking leaders of the Continental Enlightenment. But it was the work of two British writers, David Hume and Joseph Priestley, that set off great sparks of revelation in young Bentham's mind. In An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, 1748, David Hume says that one way to distinguish good and bad is by usefulness. A good quality is only really good if it is put to good use. But for the sharp, no-nonsense lawyer Bentham, this was still too vague. What if you consider usefulness or utility to be the only moral quality? What if you decide whether an action is good or not entirely by its usefulness, by whether it produces a good effect, crucially, whether it makes people happier or not? What if? Looked at in this way, all morality is at root about creating happiness and avoiding misery. Any other description is an unnecessary elaboration, or worse, a deliberate veiling of the truth. We're just trying to be happy. Religions are often guilty of this obfuscation, Bentham says, but so too are those high-flown political idealists who assert people's rights, and so miss the point that it is all really about making people happy. It's taxes! It's TikTok! No, it's about people being happy. Whatever that means, let's figure that out. This is true, Bentham argues, not just on a personal and moral level, but on a public and political level, too. And if both private morality and public policy are reduced to this simple aim, everyone can agree. And men and women of goodwill can work together to achieve the same end. So what, then, is a happy, useful outcome? Bentham is a realist and accepts that even the best action produces some bad along with the good. If one child has 2 sweets and another has 1 and a third has none, the fairest action for the children's parents would be to take a sweet from the child with 2 and give it to the one with none. This still leads to one of the children losing a sweet. Similarly, any government action will work to the advantage of some, but the disadvantage of others. For Bentham, such actions should be judged according to the following criterion. An action is good if it produces more pleasure than pain. Welcome to the hedonism of politics. Reading Priestley's An Essay on the First Principles of Government, 1768, sparked off the second great revelation of 1769 for Bentham. 69. Shut up, Jesus. He draws from Priestley the idea that a good act is one that produces the greatest happiness for the greatest number. In other words, it's all about arithmetic. Politics can be simplified to one question: does it make more people happy than it makes sad? Bentham developed a mathematical method which he called felicific what? Felicific calculus. Felicific to work out whether a given government act produced more happiness or less. What a nerd! This is where the idea that government has but a choice of evils comes in. Any law is a restriction on human liberty, argues Bentham. An interference with the individual's freedom to act completely as he or she wants. Therefore, every law is necessarily an evil. But doing nothing may also be an evil. The decision rests on the arithmetic. A new law can be justified if, and only if, it does more good than harm. He likens government to a doctor who should only intervene if he is sure the treatment will do more good than harm. Sometimes they won't cut your leg off. An apt analogy for Bentham's time, when doctors frequently made patients more ill by bleeding them or draining some of their blood in an attempt to clear out disease. Bleeding, bloodletting back then? Oh boy. Ask, I think we got Washington because of that one. We got someone. When deciding the punishment for a criminal, for instance, the lawmaker must take into account not just the direct effect of the mischief, but the secondary effects too. A robbery does not just harm the victim, but creates alarm in the community. Wait, people just robbing people around here? What's going on? What do you mean? The punishment must also make the robber worse off, so that it outweighs any profit he gained by committing the crime. extended his idea into the field of economics, endorsing the view of Scottish economist Adam Smith, who is the basis for our economy today, who argued that markets work best without government restrictions. Since Bentham's time, many people have used his warning to lawmakers as a justification for hands-off government, for scaling back bureaucracy, and for deregulation. His views have even been used as an argument in favor of a conservative government that avoids introducing new laws, especially new laws that try to change people's behavior. However, Bentham's arguments also have a far more radical implications. Governments cannot stand still until everyone is infinitely happy, which will never happen. Let me repeat that. Governments cannot stand still until everyone is infinitely happy, which will never happen. This means there is always work to do. Just as most people continue to search for happiness throughout their lives, governments must constantly strive to make ever more people happy. Bentham's moral arithmetic highlights not just the benefits of happiness, but its cost. It makes it clear that for someone to be happy, someone else may have to pay a price. For a very rich few to live in comfort, for instance, many others must live in discomfort. Each person only counts as one unit in Bentham's sum of human happiness. This means that this imbalance is immoral, and it is every government's duty to continually work to address the situation. We're all the same, so we all deserve it. So how can rulers be persuaded to spread the wealth when that would seem to make them less happy? The answer, Bentham argues, is more democracy, meaning the extension of the franchise. If rulers fail to increase human happiness for the greatest number, they get voted out at the next election. You messed up. Let's get new people in. In a democracy, politicians have a vested interest in increasing happiness for the majority to ensure they are reelected. While other thinkers, from Rousseau to Paine, Thomas Paine, so from Jean-Jacques Rousseau to Thomas Paine, were pushing for democracy as a natural right, without which a man is denied his humanity, Bentham argued for it entirely pragmatically. It's just better, as a means to an end. The idea of natural laws and rights is, to Bentham, nothing more than nonsense on stilts. Oh, it's a natural right, huh? Well, we were all born into it, were we? You know, this shit actually means stuff. You know, you should actually know what the hell you're voting for instead of just, you know? So that was Bentham. Bentham's like, you should know what the hell you're voting for, right? Alright. With their costs and benefits, profit and loss, Bentham's arguments for extending voting rights appeal to hard-nosed British industrialists and businessmen, the rising new power base in the Industrial Revolution, in a way that no amount of idealism and talk of man's natural rights could. Bentham's down-to-earth utilitarian arguments helped to shift Britain toward parliamentary reform and liberalism in the 1830s. Today, a Benthamite approach is a useful everyday benchmark for public policy decisions. encouraging governments to consider whether each policy is, on balance, good for the majority of people. However, there are some real problems with Bentham's ideal-free recipe of utilitarianism. The English author Charles Dickens hated the new breed of utilitarians that followed Bentham and satirized them mercilessly in his novel Hard Times, 1854. Depicting them as killjoys, stamping on the imagination and sapping the human spirit with their insistence on reducing life to hard facts. It is not a picture that Bentham, a deeply empathetic man, would necessarily recognize, but it was a clear reference to his reduction of every issue to arithmetic. One recurring criticism of Bentham's idea is that it encourages scapegoating. The greatest happiness principle can permit huge injustices if the overall effect is general happiness. Oh boy, haven't we seen this? The greatest happiness principle can, after a terrible terrorist bombing, for instance, the police are under great pressure to find the perpetrators. The general population will be much happier and the alarm will subside if the police arrest anyone who appears to fit the bill, even if they are not actually the guilty party, provided there are no further attacks. Following Bentham's argument, some critics claim, it is morally acceptable to punish the innocent if their suffering is outweighed by an increase in the happiness of the general population. Supporters of Bentham can get around this problem by saying that the general population would be unhappy to live in a society in which innocent people are made into scapegoats. We don't want you taking the blame, but someone's got to take the blame. But that issue only arises if the population finds out the truth. And if the targeting of scapegoats is kept secret, it would appear justified, according to Bentham's logic. Woo! The greatest good for the greatest number. And yet we can still twist that around, can't we? Do you even know how to count? Who's counting? What do you mean by great? What's even good? You know, all questions that we need to consider still today. Even today. So, that, hopefully, I can get a new book in by next week. But if we don't, I like that book, that new politics book. We can learn, we can get details, we can learn. We can get the basis of our reality down today. Thanks, nerd. Thanks, nerd. Thank you for that. Thank you. Alright. Hello? Is it tea you're looking for? Here we go. So that's my Monday. That's what I got. Next book. That's my Monday. That's where are we at? 59? I think I'm here. I think that's it. That's all I got today. That's all I can think of. We had a hell of a week last week. Hopefully we got, staying warm. It's gonna be cold as hell tomorrow. So, make sure you, bundle up. let me show you what. Remember the do you remember the things so like that's all. I took foam board and I put it in the garage door to try and like do a little insulation there, and I was like, what? I need more foam board, so I took the foam board that I worked on and I put that in the garage door to try and do a little insulation. I don't know. I thought that was kind of fun. Now I gotta look at. Now I'm like driven to create more. So let's get the hell out of here. Let's scroll. Scroll me out of here. Let's just have an early day. Let's just get out of here. Scroll me out, folks. I love you guys. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm trying. Where the hell did I put it? Hello, it's me you're looking for. Can see it in your eyes. There we go. There we go. I think I got it. Nope, I didn't get it. Scroll me out. Alright. I really gotta work on production for this show. I really gotta work. Vaping sucks in the cold. It does. And like, but alright, let's scroll out. Scroll out. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Let's start with Cleany is the man. Shy introvert. Cleany is the man. Absolutely. Nerd Nature says, do you bring the heat, Cleany? Herbie says, in Houston, we are said to be getting a few inches of snow and ice. That's too bad, Herbie. I'm sorry about that. Paige says, I don't live in Texas, but parts of Texas are expecting quite a bit of snow. For Texas, that's fine. Niffer Mama Shy. Bill D with the emotes and the much love, much fam. Clean girl, always, nerd. No, always. Michael Patterson, Shanti Brock, later crew. Shanti to you, Michael Patterson. The East Side. Hi, East Side. Classic. Nice. Create more. That foam court looks good. Well, thank you, Classic. You should check out Pops' work. He does a lot of modeling. I dabbled a little bit last year. Jesus Christ, keep working. No early days. No, absolutely not. Clean Girl with the Shy's making everyone laugh. Anthony T, have a great day. Carnivorous. Daniel, I see you. Have a great day. Shining Tory, I was in Alabama one year when it snowed like a quarter of an inch. I saw 15 wrecked cars that morning. It was crazy. Some people just don't know how to drive when there's snow. Catzilla, have a great day, Brock. Absolutely, you too, Catzilla. Laura Divine, have a fabulous day. You have a fabulous day, Laura. We'll be talking to you sometime soon whenever I have like a non-fabulous day and I'm like, I need to have a fabulous day because Laura Divine said so. Derek Anderson, vaping sucks in the cold. Nerd Nature, love you much, fam. Super fun on your leave of your day. Niffer Mama, stay warm, all I hope. You all have an amazing week. Niffer, we're gonna shine into it. The Benjamin clogging up the D. The Benjamin clogging up the... Yeah, Shy. Brian C, love y'all. Be safe. Derek Anderson, thank you, Brock, and everyone for an awesome morning. Love y'all. Stay warm and have a great day. You too, Derek Anderson. Thank you. For the Lionel Richie, Clean Girl, if you don't get any snow, you don't know how to drive in snow. That's totally true. Shy Introvert, have a great week, everyone. You too, Shy. Clean Girl, love, peace, and bud grease. Herbie Von Werby, much love, Brock and crew. Calico Kid, have a great day, everyone. You too, Calico. Thank you so much. Lord Divine, I gotta go shovel snow now. Yesterday, so I'll finish. I had to go dig someone out of our driveway yesterday. And then Pops had to use the car to push them out of the drive. It's such a dumb thing. Shovel your snow, folks. All right, I shoveled all our snow into the driveway. Bad idea. Don't do that. I'm an idiot. Pacers, is it snowing? No, we got our snow for the year. We're done. Jesus Christ, see you, Bill, mate. Bill D, have a great night, JC. I love you guys. Such a bro love right there. Paige, have a great day, Brock and crew, or at least try to. You too, Paige. Clean Grow, that's just Michigan. 5280 all day with the emotes, Pacers. Love you, Brock and crew. I've been listening and love the reading today. Thank you. No, thank you, Pacers. Let's see. Jesus pops models on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk. Yeah, he does a little turn on the catwalk. Yeah, on the catwalk. Right. Yeah, he. Okay, I'm a model, and you know what he means. Pacers, I'm digging it. Cleaning. The Waz, stay warm. Have a great day. Have a great week. Sue Littlemeyer, peace out. Let's see. Niffer, Jesus, Sue, classic, Jesus. There we go. We're out of here. Let's Okay. We're gonna hug. But I want it to be like, I want you to like attack the hug, okay? So when we attack the hug, what I mean by attacking the hug is, don't forget I have a tail. I've been rocking this entire thing with a beaver tail, okay? We're gonna attack the hug, alright? And when I say attack the hug, I mean really get into it, okay? So, on the count of 3, get into it, okay? On the count of 3, and I mean like 1, 2, 3, get into it, okay? On the count of 3, we're gonna attack the hug, and we're gonna all just like, just really get into it, okay? So, 1, 2, remember to be after 3, okay? It'll be 1, 2, 3, then, okay? 3. Yeah! There it is! Wait, no! Crap! Okay, whoa! Hey, stop it over there! Sue Littlemeyer, what are you doing hugging like that? Come on now! Calico, knock it off! What are you doing? Okay. You know what? I'm tired already. Whew. Okay, everybody. Love you guys. Get out of here before Laura finds you. You don't want to hug Laura today. She will destroy you. Love you guys.